have to warn you guys, this is going to be a heavy episode. Like, so heavy that I wasn't really sure if I wanted to even record this episode. It's going to be different. You know, my tone's going to be different. My pace is going to be different. I'm not really sure where this conversation is going to go. But it will be a lot. It will give you a lot to think about. You know, it might be difficult to listen to, especially if some of you have had personal experiences with the subject material. So, you know, if this isn't a conversation that you're super comfortable with or ready for, definitely understand, you know, if now is not the right time to listen to it. I don't know how long this episode is going to be because I do have a lot to say and I have a bunch of books that I'm going to be calling upon. But this is one conversation I'm not going to cut short, guys. I've been planning this episode for a long time, really since I started Nervous Habits, and I want to do it justice. This isn't going to be a religious episode. You know, we're going to be looking at death from a secular and a psychological point of view. And we're going to be diving into how humans think about death as a collective. You know, and bringing together different perspectives on death. You know, there will be some anecdote, some personal thoughts and feelings here. As I mentioned, literature. You know, I might pull in some pop culture, maybe a movie or TV show if it's relevant. But really, you know, this is going to be as improvised as one of my episodes has been. So with that kind of precursor, you know, with that as an initial note, I do want to dive into the discussion on death. In my opinion, I think that the fear of death in humans really has to do with the total loss of control. I feel that all our lives we're living this illusion that we're in complete control of our fates. You know, we all have miniature God complexes. You know, we're managing our schedules and we're controlling our children if we have kids, or our pets, our finances. And we're doing this on a subconscious level to feel as if we have some power over it, some control over what's going to happen next. And maybe you can relate to this on a conscious level. Maybe you're all too aware of this sensation. Maybe this is the first time you're really thinking about how the desire for control really rules every facet of your life. But the reality is, and this is a reality that a lot of people don't quite learn until I feel later in life, or at least in young adulthood, is we don't have control. And we know that because certain areas of our life, like our health, are completely unpredictable. You know, something like disease can come out of nowhere. You know, you can be the healthiest person in the world one day and diagnosed with, you know, terminal cancer another day. And dying and death is really, the end of our lives is completely unpredictable. You never know when it's going to happen. Steve Jobs, one of the most successful men who ever lived, this is something my dad actually always says, all the money in the world and all the claim and the fame and the celebrity, the success, all of it couldn't save Steve Jobs from pancreatic cancer. And so I think to begin this conversation, we really have to acknowledge the lack of control. You know, there are some factors in your control. I mentioned health. You can eat healthy and avoid smoking and stay out of unsafe areas after dark and don't get in the car with someone who's been drinking. You can do all that. But that's not going to stop you from getting a random stroke or heart attack one day, or getting into a car accident, or getting shot in, you know, one of these tragic school shootings, or, shooting at the mall. It's a sick, dangerous world out there. And these things are out of your control. And I think that's part of the reason why people turn to religion for comfort about these issues. To acknowledge that, let's be honest, we have no control, and to be humble in the face of this. I think that if you break something like religion down if you break it down to its simplest elements, I think that religion is humility. It's acknowledging one's utter lack of importance in the face of something greater, that being the existence of God.